Florence Foster Jenkins. Florence Foster Jenkins stars Meryl Streep and Hugh Grant, as well as a few other people, and it is about, it's a true story about the title character, Florence Foster Jenkins, who is an awful singer, but is singing at an opera house, and it's all about her journey in just how successful her song gets, and just a whole lot of things are happen in this movie. And I went into this movie with very interesting expectations level. I thought that the trailer looked really good, but I just honestly had no clue what I was going to get into with this movie. I went in having seen the trailer, but the trailer didn't say too much, so I honestly didn't know what I was going to get. And I can say that I really, really enjoyed this movie. I really liked it. Obviously, the performances, I mean, do I even have to say it? They were all great from everybody, especially Meryl Streep, which, I mean, I predicted myself saying that coming out, but seriously, Meryl Streep is such a great actress. I mean, the character that she plays is not a great character, you could say. She's kind of selfish, and, well, not selfish, but she's sort of self-involved in a way. She's a very interesting character, and I think it would be a very hard character to make likable, but Meryl Streep did, and you really cared for that character, which I didn't expect coming. It's not the kind of character that you would, and at the beginning I was sort of thinking, is Meryl Streep really giving her all into this? And while I don't think she gives her all, she still gives a very solid performance. I don't think it's an Oscar caliber. I don't think she'll get nominated for an Oscar for this one. Then again, she's been nominated for an Oscar for everything else, but I'm not sure about this one, but it's still a fantastic role. She did a great job. There's not too many attempts at comedy in the movie, but the comedy that they attempt mostly revolves around the bad singing, and that was a really well done aspect of the movie. Typically, if there's bad singing in a movie, it's terrible and it's awful and it makes you want to tear your ears out. But that wasn't the one in here. It was obviously bad singing. She wasn't very good at singing, but it wasn't atrocious and it wasn't hard to listen to. They did a really good job with it, and occasionally she'd hit the note correctly and then she'd just fall apart, but it wasn't over the top. It's a very enjoyable movie. It's very entertaining, and the characters in it are very, very likable. It's also very feel-good, and I really like that aspect. And the main theme of the movie is that you can do whatever you want, yet at the same time it also explains the message that sometimes just because you want to do something and you feel like you're meant to do it, that doesn't mean that it's meant for you. And I really liked how they said that message, because that's a very hard way to tackle a message like that, to look one way and the other and try to combine it in one way. But they did a really, really good job with it. And also the set design, like everything in this looked really good and authentic to the 1800s. It wasn't as good as, say, Love and Friendship. This is a better movie than Love and Friendship, but the set design and hair design and all that wasn't as good as, Love and Friendship, but it still looked really good and it looked authentic enough to its time, which I did really like. So, Florence Foster Jenkins, it's overall a feel-good movie, and I can recommend it, despite if it's very flawed, because this is a very flawed movie. The length, it's way too long. They honestly could have cut out 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes of this, and it would have flowed a lot better, but overall it just went on for too long, and it stretched itself thin. And it's very oddly edited, and the tone is very, very inconsistent. It's very weird, and it gave a very odd flow to the movie. That was mostly in the first two acts. In the third act, it sort of improved upon that, but by then it was too late, because it just had a very weird flow, and the tone, while also being optimistic, like, it could also be a drama at times, and it switched very quickly, and that was a huge issue. But and also, this movie is very mismarketed. The movie is marketed as it's about Florence Foster Jenkins preparing to sing at an opera house, but that's not really what it's about. Obviously, that is a main idea in the movie, but it also revolves around a lot of other stuff, and I thought that they could have marketed that a little better. So overall, Florence Foster Jenkins is a very enjoyable, very well acted movie, despite if it's too long and strangely edited. So overall, I will probably end up giving Florence Foster Jenkins a 7 out of 10. I'd recommend you go see it. In fact, I'm pretty sure the average person, I'm pretty sure, would enjoy this movie, and I have a really hard time imagining anybody not liking it. Alright, that concludes my review. I am Robert Burke, and this has been The Clever Critics. Goodbye.